All right. Hello, everyone. Trust you're doing well. Welcome to another session. Um, I just want to talk about rejection today. Those who have been rejected, whose application for graduate school has been rejected, have been rejected. What should you do? How can you pick yourself up again and apply again? And what should you even do before applying again? What are the things you should take note of? What are the things you should put into place? So I want to say you are welcome. If you have not subscribed, first thing you should do is subscribe. I say that every time. So subscribe to this channel. Very important. All right. So if your graduate school application has been rejected, number one thing you should know is that it's not necessarily because you had a very poor application. It's not necessarily that. A lot of things could be responsible for your graduate school application being rejected. In fact, it's possible that you were not rejected outrightly. It's possible that it's just that some people had a better profile than you. It's possible that if you were in another cohort, maybe in another year, maybe your application would have been accepted. So, first thing you should do, don't give up. That's the first thing I will tell you. Don't give up. If graduate school is your dream, please try to go for it. Try to apply again. But before you apply again, there are things you must put in place. There are things you must do. Number one, check all your applications again. Check your transcript, check your statement of purpose, check your recommendation letters, check everything. And if you can write to the graduate school or to the department where you apply to, try and ask questions like, okay, thank you for the response. Thank you. You appreciate the fact that they got back to you. Ask them, what do they think is responsible for you not making the cut, so that you can improve on that in subsequent applications. Many schools will respond to you. Okay. I've had people got response from schools. Some schools say, oh, it's the strength of your recommendation letter, maybe it's the strength of your SOP, maybe it's your CGPA, maybe this and that. So try to get that feedback from the school first and foremost. If they respond to you, that will be a great thing. Okay, so you know these are the things I'll be working on. If you have done that, look at your applications again yourself. Look at your test, your statement of purpose. Look at your grades. If you think, of course, there's nothing you can do about your grade. Of course, look at those who wrote recommendation letters for you. If you have access to what they wrote, read it again. Read it yourself. Does this really make sense? And like, look through your CV. Are there things you can do? Let me tell you some of the things I did when I did my application the first time, and then I didn't really get a full funding, and I had to apply again. Number one thing I did, I wrote exam again. Now, the only exam I wrote before then was GRE. Okay, that was during my first application. Now, what I did was to write TOEFL again, to write TOEFL in addition to GRE. And why did I write TOEFL? So that I'll be able to apply to more schools, okay, and submit my TOEFL result, because that will be very important. That makes mean I can apply to more schools. That means some of the schools I was trying to avoid, I can actually apply there, and that boosts my profile too. Okay, having my TOEFL result, because it was a beautiful result too. So if you didn't write any exam, consider writing exam. If writing exam may be a possibility for you, try to write the exam. For example, some people didn't write GRE, they are trying to avoid GRE, they apply to schools that didn't require GRE. Maybe you try to write GRE if that's a possibility for you. Try to write GRE. If you can, that would definitely mean you can apply to more schools. Of course, if you have a good GRE score, that will say more about you too. Okay. Another thing you can do is build your profile publication wise. Okay. If you can publish your result, maybe your BSc result, master's result, whatever result you have, if you can publish your result before then, that would be a great thing. Okay. If you can do that, that would be a great thing. Some of the things that help with applications is publications, okay, or research experience. Let me put it that way, because the publication is an evidence of your research experience. So try and publish. If you can't publish, try and just gain research experience. For example, you can look for places where you can volunteer, so that you can receive mentorship in terms of application So try and volunteer if you can do that. Look for places where they do things related to your field. Volunteer there or do internships there. Some, and in fact, you don't necessarily have to get paid because it's for your own good. In fact, I've seen people because they just want to gain that experience. They want to leverage on the research experience and use it in the applications. They were even the one who paid to those places where they went to learn those research skills and techniques. And one beautiful thing is this: anywhere you go to do your internship, anywhere you go to do your volunteering job, anywhere you go to do whatever just to learn research methodologies and the likes, we even gain more persons to write recommendation letters for you. So that's very, very, very important. So try to look for places to do internship, try to look for places to volunteer, to just help. And one example is this: I have someone who contacted me recently for some of the things I preach. That's one of the things I preach. Okay, and she went to a school, I think in Lagos, a professor, and she volunteered there that she wants to volunteer in their lab. And those ones asked her to come in for 1 month at least. She'll be doing that volunteering in that lab, helping them with whatever they are doing. That's research experience. You can write that as part of a research experience in your SOP. Okay, that's some of the things you can do. Look for places where you can do internship. There will be places where you can find something related to your own field. In fact, when you do that, you even have more people to write recommendation letters for you. Okay, so and that leads me to rewriting your SOP. Sometimes you read your SOP again and you're like, what was I thinking when I wrote this the first time? Okay, so you can rewrite your SOP. Don't just use that same application and say, I'm applying again. Try and read it, digest it. If I am the person picking, will I pick me over another person? So read your SOP again, include those new things you have done in your SOP. Don't just wait out and say, oh, I'm waiting for that 1 year to get over so that I can apply again, this and that. You want to add new things, new capabilities in your SOP. So if it is publication you've been able to make, try and include it. If you're able to attend conferences, even if it's just a conference within your state, maybe you just add that the departmental blah 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 is holding a conference and that. Try and apply and then try and give a talk if you can, even if it's just poster presentation. You do your poster, place it somewhere, and then people come there, you talk to them about your work. That's poster presentation. That's you sharing your work. You can include those things in your SOP if you're able to apply or if you're applying again. It's just about you enriching your SOP. It's about you, in fact, you can include it in your CV too. So you want to look through your CV too, not just your SOP, and say, okay, what is it that I've done wrong? What is it that I didn't do right? What can I add to it? So if you have those publications, you add it to it, those internship experiences, you add it to your CV. If you were able to do the talk, give a talk anywhere, just anywhere where, in fact, it can be an NGO thing and they're organizing something, and then you decide to give a talk. In fact, I saw someone on Twitter recently. I will comment her. I'll still go back and to that video and comment her. She started making videos about agricultural sustainability. Now, I didn't see many people make comments on that video. And yesterday I wanted to comment on the video, but somehow the thing left my feed and I couldn't uh, go back to it. So, but that is one of the beautiful things you can do. You create your own platform to where you can give that talk about what you are doing, and you can include it in your SOP. That's public education. What's the word now? Public outreach, something, something. You can try organize something and say you are going to schools to give a talk about so, which is related to your field, which is related to those things you are doing. You can include it in your SOP. You can include it in your CV. So this lady, she was on Twitter. She started talking about educational sustainability. Debbie, that's if you are watching, I'm commending you publicly for that. I'm commending you for what you are doing. Very beautiful. So some people can just say, oh, we are organizing this and that. Volunteer to give a talk on some of the things you do in your field, how beautiful it is for the world, blah, blah, blah. Some of the things that will go in your SOP. You will include those things in your SOP that you've been educating the public on this, on that, on that. So there are different ways you can enrich yourself, even if you cannot get to publish in journals, if you cannot get to give talks in conferences, you can create some things yourself, and then you are thereby educating the public or people in your field on new things you want to do. And don't forget, you can, of course, I mentioned it, you can write exams. You can write exams, you can write GRE, TOEFL, write more exams if need be. You can also change your recommenders. Sometimes some of the recommendation letters that gets written for Nigerian students especially are not up to par. Okay, and then a bad recommendation letter is not good at all. A bad recommendation letter does not mean that the person wrote something bad about you. It simply means the person lacked what to write about you. Okay, and that's equally as bad too. Okay, if someone writes a bad recommendation about you, those who are reviewing it may try and say, oh, there must be a beef somewhere. This person could have just said, I won't write for you. And they will understand in a certain way that this person is just fighting this person. There's a fight going on. But the person lack what to write. The person just say, yes, Samuel is a good boy, he listens in class, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. That's a weak recommendation letter. I will advise either you rewrite or you liaise or you discuss with your professor if you are close so that it can be rewritten. And that's if you know what was written for you, or you look for another person to write for you. So those are some of the things that I did when I applied again. I changed my SOP. Mostly I wrote an additional exam. Some people will rewrite their CV. I can't remember, did I write my CV? Not necessarily. And then, of course, I changed some of the units I chose, right, which I was trying to apply for. Some people will change schools. So I changed schools to, I only applied again to another school, which is where I am today. And then, what else did I do? I mean, that's almost basically what I did when I was applying again. So look inward too. Check, read your SOPs again, read your profile again, read all those things. Ask, what can I do to make my application better? That issue of publication, very important if you can do it. Internship, very, very important. Many people, especially Nigerians, where we lack it most is the aspect of research experience. So internships, go to companies, volunteer to help them with things. You will gain experience in that sense. That experience, you include it in your SOP, you include it in your CV. Very, very, very important. Okay, so I think those are the basic things which I think needs to be covered. And some people, the reason why some people didn't get application based on feedbacks from admission committees which I've discussed with before, sometimes they do not trust the transcript is submitted because of too much errors, inconsistencies, mistake, and the like. If that is your case, you want to make sure you correct that before you apply again, because it will be the same problem over and over. And I've seen people who are in that regard because it takes a lot to get transcript from Nigerian universities. So when there's a mistake on people's transcript, they just say, oh, I can't correct it. I'll just have to continue using that way. Whereas it's causing troubles for you in places. Please, in that situation, I will advise that you correct it. But the first thing you should do is reach out to the graduate school coordinator, or reach out to the graduate coordinator, rather, not graduate school. Reach out to the graduate coordinator of your department to ask the question, what was responsible for you not being chosen? You want to get better, so you will appreciate their direct feedback based on your own application. If you are very lucky and they tell you what the problem is, improve on that. But I've just mentioned basic things which you can do, many things. You can reach out to professors too in your school. It may be your school, just tell them you want to volunteer to join in this lab just to help them so that you can gain some experience. Or it may be another professor, maybe the new state where you are working. Just volunteer, just get your hand dirty doing something. All right. Thank you so much for joining in today. It's meant to be a very short one, so it's a short one, not a long one. But before I go, as I usually do, I take questions. So let me see, is there anyone who has any questions that you think you want to ask? I can quickly answer your question. So I will stay 30 seconds to see if there's a question, then we'll answer that, and then I might end. Um, if there's any question, I'll answer that. And if not, um, let me say congratulations to those who have gotten their funding, those who are getting their visas already. Congratulations to those who will be starting their school in fall. That's beautiful. I wish you nothing but the best. Best of God, best of luck, best of everything. All right, 10 more seconds. If there's no question, I think it would be a nice time to just end the stream. Okay, it seems there is no question. I think I can safely end the stream. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Those of you join, and those of you will still watch this later on. Thank you so much. God bless you. Very good. Uh, okay. So a question. Peter, you said there are no dates in Lagos. Really? I'm just sharing that. I mean, when you say there are no dates, have you tried? Because what I had goes on these days is that you, what's the word now? You try to apply and then they get back to you based on your application. Based on your application, is it that they are not giving people dates again, or the dates they are giving people is beyond the resumption, the fall resumption? Because they change the format a bit where you apply now and then they look through your application and then they give you date based on that, I think. And students usually have priority. It's beyond the resumption now. Wow, wow. I think you should keep checking back, like sending them messages. I've seen those situations before, and people kept checking back, sending them messages, and it was changed. But if that is not an option, maybe Abuja might be, oh, February 2026. February 2026. I don't know, maybe because what people are doing, let me ask around. But I think what people are doing is to choose the nearest date and wait for them to open new dates for them based on their application. That's what I've seen people do. They wait for them to open new dates based on their application. In fact, I think I even remember I had to write then like in that portal, there's a place where you write like a letter. They will say reason for something something, or for you trying to choose an earlier date, and then you write it. And if all fails, I would probably suggest Abuja then. But I think for students, you will still get a date. They always reschedule it. They always reschedule it. All right. I wish you all the best, Peter Adeyemo Ayobami. God bless you. Really good. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. I'm doing like YouTubers now. I'm not a YouTuber. But subscribe, it encourages me to do more videos and likes when I see subscription. And I've seen this bless a lot of people. I meet people everywhere and they say, oh, I watched your video, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's a good thing. All right, have a nice time. God bless you real good. Thank you.